Okay, so you guys want to understand this whole Ray J and Pastor Bryant situation.
Right.
We dove into the footage you sent.
Yeah.
And it gets interesting.
Oh, it's fascinating.
To say the least. We're going to go beyond the headlines here, right? We're analyzing the actual words, the tone.
Absolutely.
To understand what's really going on between these two. So
yeah.
There's a lot about respect, safety, masculinity even.
Yeah, that's right.
And a surprising biblical reference that we really need to unpack.
Definitely.
So right off the bat, Ray J is clearly in a heightened emotional state here. He's not holding back. He's claiming that someone tried to take him out after he sent a message to Jamal Bryant. To really understand this, let's hear a bit of what Ray J had to say.
Ray J claims someone tried to take him out after sending a message to Jamal Bryant.
Nothing but love for Pastor Bryant. Shout out to Jamal Bryant. Shout out to Von Alvarez. And if y'all play that interview, somebody getting snatched off the pulpit, don't play the interview. It's not clear. It was out of bounds. Me and Pastor Bryant need to talk because the way I was treated was dirty and illegal. And I don't like it. And I don't want nobody to play that interview. I don't care if you from the church or not. Like be respectful and do people right. Don't call people out their name and don't make people feel like they're not safe in a place where they thought they were safe. I'm telling you right now, we need to work it out. Because if we don't, that's going to be a problem.
Niggas just tried to me and tried to me, nigga. And you want me to apologize? You.
Stop crying. Tell little boys contributing and planting seeds to their dysfunction. Stop all that crying. Boys don't cry. And boys who don't cry end up being men who don't cry. We have scriptural evidence that Jesus looked over the city, and when he looked over the city, Jesus wept.
Nothing but love for Pastor Bryant. You want me to apologize? You! Wow. Dirty and illegal. Somebody getting snatched off the pulpit. Those are some seriously loaded phrases right there. I mean, you get a sense of fear and potential danger there. I don't know about you.
Oh, absolutely. And it's not just anger. It feels like Ray J is genuinely afraid for his safety. Like he's saying, this is serious business.
Right.
And that snatched off the pulpit line particularly interesting because it suggests that this isn't just a personal conflict. It's intertwined with these power dynamics, maybe even religious authority we're talking about.
Yeah, and yet he keeps saying nothing but love for Pastor Bryant, even bringing up, Von Alvarez and love.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's trying to either de-escalate the situation or just send a mixed message. What do you think?
I think that's the key here because it's not a straightforward situation, is it? Why would Ray J express love while also feeling threatened at the same time? Is it self-preservation? Is there like a deeper or more complex relationship that we're not seeing? There's just so many questions there.
Right. And then he totally shifts gears and starts talking about crying. He says boys don't cry, and boys who don't cry end up being men who don't cry. What do you make of that statement?
Well, that's where this gets really profound, I think. He's connecting this whole situation to emotional expression.
Yeah.
Specifically, to this whole idea that men are often taught to suppress their feelings.
Right.
And so the question arises, is this a hint that his attempts to communicate with Pastor Bryant were met with, maybe dismissiveness?
Yeah.
Or worse, aggression, because showing vulnerability was seen as a weakness.
Oh, interesting. Okay. And that brings us to the biblical reference. He says, we have scriptural evidence that Jesus looked over the city, and when he looked over the city, Jesus wept. It feels almost out of place at first, but is it really?
I don't think so at all.
No.
Think about it, right? Jesus weeping over Jerusalem, it's an act of sorrow, profound sorrow and compassion, right? By invoking this image, Ray J might be trying to almost legitimize his own emotional response. He's saying, look, even Jesus expressed sadness. Why am I being judged for doing the same?
So we're seeing this clash of expectations here.
Yeah.
Traditional notions of masculinity that discourage emotional expression versus this biblical example that actually embraces it. And somewhere in the middle of all of this is Ray J trying to navigate this potentially dangerous situation while also grappling with these very conflicting ideas about what it means to be a man.
Right. It makes you wonder, like, what led to this point? And of course, the big question is what happens next,
Right,
you
yeah.
know?
So you've heard the clip, you've heard our take. Now, what do you think this all means?
Okay.
What's the next chapter in this story? We want to know.